Hello and welcome to When Will It End? It's a movie podcast from me, Josh, and my main guy, Charles. Say hi, Charles, to the people.
Hi? Wait, what?
You did good. And what we do is we watch a whole series of movies. We tell you, does a series get good? Does it get bad?
Hi?
Hi? Okay, I just got to warn
So
everybody.
good?
We just got fucking scorched.
Scorched. So last time
If you remember.
we said we were maze heads.
Now we're kind of scorch heads.
Scorch heads.
We've been scorched.
We got scorched.
We got caught with the scorch.
It actually looked sort of cold the whole time.
I think they walked that desert line where it's like it's kind of hard to tell, and of course, as we noticed, they're all wearing very charming light outerwear. The movie goes to the hard pivot from the sweaty Old Navy button down of the Glade era and the Maze era.
Not necessarily button down. Say like maybe a baseball tee.
Yeah, a lot of 3/4 length sleeves in this series. Yeah, Minho looks so good in that first movie.
I mean,
everyone looks good in this too.
That dude could be going to prep school.
He's a bit of a prep.
Yeah.
And here's my biggest regret about this movie. First off, right at the bat, I'm full scorch head. We said this, but I want to really reiterate.
We're making hats.
This is the best series we have watched so far.
Do you want to make a hat where it's like a baseball cap, but the top looks like it's been burned off, and then it just says
Scorched.
Scorched?
Yeah.
Scorched.
How about we get a shirt that says, I got scorched, and all I got was a stupid t-shirt, and it's scorched all over.
It's scorched like in the fire font?
Like in the fire font, yeah. It's flaming.
That's
it's
gonna be so good.
No, it's a shirt that's constantly on fire.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like the guy in the White House lawn.
Much like the man in the White House lawn.
God damn it.
That was really upsetting.
I know, but I just fucking dated the podcast.
Oh, right, yeah, relatively recently.
People are probably still talking about it.
I doubt it.
No, people are.
We live in a
honestly,
fucking,
it happened. I didn't even know it happened.
We live in a nightmare. I saw that it happened, and I was like, yeah, makes sense. Just people self-immolating now, like if that's the new thing in American politics.
He walked so calm.
I think this was a very determined man.
Do you think he just wanted a hug?
No, I think he wanted to die violently in a very public manner.
It just looked like he was walking in the woods looking for a hug.
I just imagine what it's like to be a cop in DC, where you're like, oh God, another one.
Another one. There
Another
should be a song
flaming
called
guy.
Another One.
Another one.
And it's just about being a cop in
About
DC.
getting scorched. I'm actually my screenplay is about being, it's like a tough as nails cop in DC walking the beat.
Yeah.
He gets mixed up in all the political intrigue.
Do you think we need more fictional media about what it's like to be a police officer?
I really do. I don't think we've explored that remotely enough.
No.
What's it like? No one knows.
Police officers.
They do.
Yeah, they don't tell anyone though.
I've been reading about an epidemic of suicide among older cops in the NYPD.
If I had my both hands free, you'd be hearing a smattering of applause.
Wow.
But I'm holding the mic and I'm holding my shoulder for some reason.
Which can only mean that we're doing the podcast. When will it end? We just watched the Maze Run. Okay, no, we dropped
just called Scorch Trials.
Well, okay, but officially it's Maze Runner : The Scorch Trials.
Maybe.
Though the title card we get in the movie is simply The Scorch Trials.
I liked it.
Okay, so I want to dive right into this. We've been talking a lot about why the first movie worked, and in this movie, the same catchword keeps coming up: pacing. For a movie that's like over 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours, 11 minutes maybe.
13, very nice.
Yeah, it flows amazingly. And what's so good about this movie is that every set piece we get is actually better than the last, which I think is so rare. But in the middle of this movie, in the sequence that goes from when they go through first the tunnels underground with all the graffiti in it, they find the super mega zombies and then emerge into the collapsing building, and then like from there, like there's this like massive sequence. It's like a 20-minute part that I was just like, every single, from set to set to set, all of this works. And in this movie, okay, so I'm clearly full of beans right now.
You're full of beans. Can we calm it down?
Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath.
Take a sip. Take a sippy sip.
Sippy sip of my caffeine.
You know why we're not using straws? This is also
not. Can we end the clear? Okay, now I'm cool.
So that was taken. I'm in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. In Boston, everyone's still using straws. I come out here to the land of beauty and woods. Adults are drinking out of sippy cups.
Yeah, adult sippy cups are our response to straws.
And I think that's great for two reasons.
Okay.
One, turtles.
Yeah,
Two,
the turtles hate the straws.
I mean, they're fine with the straws. They're just dumb.
Yeah, what are they doing with the straws? What
They're
are turtles
sticking them
doing?
up their nose. They're probably doing that thing where you like try to stick the thing in your nose and then pull it out your mouth. And
I was never into that. That's such a you thing or
I
something
never
bullshit.
did. No, fuck you. I'd never do
You were
that.
a fucking bowler hat wearing mime or whatever in high school.
That's not true.
You were a fucking mime.
Fuck you.
You're a mime boy.
I never mimed.
Chuck the mime. Chuck the mime.
I did try it once.
Yeah, I believe
it
it.
felt really good, but
Was it liberating?
it was great. I was not good at it, so everyone was like, "What?" And I wanted to say it, and like, I'm climbing a rope ladder.
Right.
Wait, do mimes do that? They
climb rope ladders?
Yeah, what do they do?
They could mime climbing a rope ladder.
Right,
That's their
but is
whole
that like
thing.
a thing that they pretend, or it's always just like?
I think the better you are as a mime, your purview of what you can mime expands.
Have you seen a good mime?
Well, I feel like in a way, isn't acting the ultimate miming?
Can I get it clear?
Yeah, here we go. All right, here we go. And
say go.
And go.
Whoops, I almost just drank out of the mic. Hold on, sorry.
You have nowhere near
one more time.
And go. No refresh noise?
No,
Oh,
I'm not
awful.
refreshed. I'm drinking coffee. I feel terrible.
Okay, so the Maze Runner, the Scorch Trials,
Yeah.
a big part of the series is trying to gauge movie by movie, how do we expand the world of this cinematic experience? And I don't think we've seen as impressive a transition from movie 1 to movie 2 as we saw in this.
I mean, we got some close, like Shrek, I think, is close. Movie 1 to movie 2, movie 2 to movie 3. We'll see where it goes. But I think you're right. I think this is probably the best in not only setting up a world, but then destroying our expectations and getting us somewhere else.
I love the beginning here. We have more flashbacks to Thomas's murky memory working for Wicked.
Yep.
And then he's back in the motherfucking box, hurtling towards the surface.
Right.
And for a minute, I was like, if we're starting all over again, I'm fine
I'd
with
be
that.
in. Yeah.
That's how good the first one was. But no, we get a whole new world with this. People getting hustled in with helicopters. Don't you dare close your eyes.
A whole new world.
Living in Scorch Trials, come get scorched.
Yeah. The theme song to
the Scorch Trials,
the Scorch Trials.
Okay, so the biggest part of this that was amazing to me is that movie 1, it's sort of like, we talked about how it was sort of an amalgamation of genres that we enjoy. There's a lot going on. There's sort of like the teen drama aspect, the dystopian aspect.
There's jungle warfare.
Right. There's survivalism. There's Lord of the Flies.
Let's get some movies that so there's Lord of the Flies meets maybe a Predator. Lord of the Flies meets Predator meets Cube.
Meets The Running Man. It's
meets
great.
The Running Man.
Okay.
Right. All right. Cool. That was awesome. I really like. I feel so
you
good.
You are so happy looking.
That was great.
I've never seen you this.
Can we do this
before.
again for Scorch Trials?
Okay. Yeah. Down the road. Let's put a pin in it. Okay, this movie is a fucking zombie movie.
Yes.
And I was completely unexpected.
It's 28 Days Later meets... Can I just do this now?
The Hunger Games. I mean, that's the easiest
20
one.
Days Later meets Hunger Games meets...
Fallout 3, basically.
Fallout 3.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say earlier, this has the video game thing where it's a... One of my, not complaints, but like observations from the first movie was how our lead... is sort of boring and is the guy that sort of walks us through the world where everyone else has been there for a while, so they sort of know more. Where they're using the video game trope of protagonists without a backstory that's for some reason doesn't have a memory, doesn't remember. That's very common. Like as a first-person shooter, you're just like thrown into the world, you don't know who you are, and you got to figure it out. And I think they're using that very well again, but like the memories that he's sort of coming back, like all the things from the hospital and the server banks that he remembers throughout the movie. Like, we're getting him as more of a character now. I think because he's becoming more acclimatized to his area.
Right. And also, additionally, I think Dylan O'Brien is much better in this than he was in the first movie. I think he has a distinctive performance. I like that there's, towards the beginning of the movie where they're just him and Minho have this conversation where they just both look so fucked up.
Yeah.
They look so shattered.
I forget what he said, but it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, line.
In this movie, things get somehow darker in a way that I was like really impressed with.
Oh, yeah. Much darker.
Yeah.
Because the first one, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And here, there's a lot of backstabbing and double crossing.
Right. The big reveal at the end that someone very near and dear to us is indeed a vile betrayer. And again, here's my forecast for 3. We have a lot of... Also, again, we're going to just dive into the plot here. I highly recommend you see these movies. But Teresa...
yeah.
She's got to be a sister.
You think so?
I would love if she was a sister.
I thought you were joking.
No, I think that'd be a really great plot twist.
Whoa.
So in this movie, this has one of the best tropes of all time in it, which is not Alan Tudyk playing Alan Tudyk is in this. I had no idea. Makes the
Yeah.
movie. He just plays like a drugged up nightmare czar. It's sick.
He's so great.
But this had a drugged up like dance orgy scene in it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was so sick. Another thing
really
I was
great.
totally not expecting.
Yeah, they get like make to drink the green liquid, and then they make out in like
Well, him
weird
and Brenda, the best new character, I think.
Yeah, great haircut.
Great haircut.
You know me, I love a haircut. She's got a great haircut. Actually, a lot of good haircuts in this one. New ones.
Yeah.
They made ugly people uglier, like the grizzled man with bad haircut.
Yeah, Grizzly Man was great. But I mean, everyone looks like shit in this movie for the most part. Like everyone looks stylish but
Newt
rugged.
Will always look as though he just walked out of a shower.
Beautiful. Yeah. We fell in love with him in Love Actually when he ran through the airport security.
He was in Star Wars Episode 7.
Really?
Yeah, he played a little officer.
Okay. Wait, really?
Yeah, I looked it up.
That's so funny. Good for him.
Don't ever tell me I don't put in my weight.
Yeah. Why would I ever use the phrase "put in your weight"?
You use that all the time.
Yeah, he's putting in his weight again.
Yeah.
Is that good or bad?
No, you always say you're not putting in your weight. Wait, is that a thing?
It's pull your weight.
Pull your weight.
The idea is that you're taking care of your own responsibilities.
Is that a typo? I just put in L's.
I just honestly think you're getting older.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to be 40 pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it. That's where I hear it gets bad. The 30s are good. I think the 40s are going to be bbad.
You're living the high life right now.
Yeah, like Claire Denis's film.
Was that good?
It was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I love Robert Pattinson and I love space.
Yeah, and you're going to love it. Because it's like 80% of the movie.
It's just him being sad in space.
Yeah, and then Tinder Sticks does the soundtrack. Or
I
no,
don't know
part of
Tinder
it.
Sticks.
Oh, they're a cool little band. They've done all the like music for her movies. You got to watch her movies if you haven't seen her movies. She's an incredible filmmaker.
Claire Denis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Claire Denis.
I'm sure it's Claire Denis.
But I like Claire Denis.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
That's
like
my porn name is Claire Denis.
That's your porn name?
Yeah, it's Claire Denis.
Claire Denis?
Maybe Dennis Claire.
How'd you spell it?
Exactly like hers. Just
Weird.
No, I'll add an N. I'm full American. Claire Denis.
Wait, do you want to be Claire Penis?
Oh, that's good.
That's really good. But you could be like a weird
How about Penis Dennis?
Penis Dennis.
I actually like that one.
Wait, how are you spelling Dennis? Double N?
Double N, yeah.
So Penis Dennis.
Actually, no. Single N. We'll have the nice. It'll look beautiful.
Right.
Penis Dennis. That's really good.
I like that.
I Instagrammed a photo of a Dennis Johnson book, and someone just posted Penis Johnson.
I saw that. And it was really
I was like,
good.
that
Really
actually,
good.
you know what?
I mean,
Good bit.
if you've read Jesus, Son, and haven't thought Penis Johnson,
Yeah.
you're an adult, probably. No, you're just an adult.
Anywho, we're talking about the Scorch Trials. Okay, so first off, of all the great character actors who appear in the series, we get more fucking Littlefinger.
Yeah, right out of the gate. And it's like, you said it while we were watching it, but like, we're not going to trust him.
There's no universe where you cast that man in a role where he's not a piece of shit.
I mean, I don't know that I've seen him in anything other than the first season of Game of Thrones and now the Scorch Trials.
Let me ask you about his outfit.
Yeah?
That turtleneck.
Oh my God. So
I was like pretty like, all right.
So he comes in. It's this. First of all, it's called the Scorch Trials, but everything's very cold. I guess. Did you learn in middle school about how the desert is actually very cold sometimes?
At night it's fucking freezing.
Oh, so cold.
Yeah.
So maybe he was wearing that turtleneck because it was like a nice, gotta stay warm.
Also, it looked like it was like maybe a softer merino wool, maybe, or
perhaps.
like a nice, like a very flexible.
I think
breathable.
once again, Old Navy.
Yeah, a lot of, everyone does look like the visually speaking for a movie from that's not that.
Yeah.
These movies aren't that old.
No, they're like
but
4, 3, and 1 years old.
right. The aesthetic look very like Old Navy catalog.
Yeah.
which is kind of funny.
It is. I mean,
Yeah. I like it. I'm not complaining.
I'm not either. I like the jackets they're wearing.
Okay, so let's
later
get to
on.
the jackets. Okay, so
Yeah.
in this movie, okay, what I thought was so cool about this is it kind of like the titular maze in The Maze Runner. We kind of think we're going to spend a lot of time. They get to this like detention facility. Littlefinger's like, everything's fine. Don't worry. We're not harvesting your blood.
Not at all. Why would-
Spoiler: they are harvesting their blood. It's not good. So they escape in an elaborate but wonderfully plotted sequence involving vents and running. And again, I talked about this during the movie. The Great West Ball. I'm so impressed with this director.
Yeah.
There's a little bit where the bad guys have these guns that shoot these like electric pulses.
Yeah.
And they manage to steal one of the guns after dodging the blast. Then finally they actually use it and see what happens to somebody. But it's just like the kind of nonverbal visual storytelling that in other movies I feel like would be like, it's a stun blaster.
Right.
You gotta aim for the neck or some bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and then after he shoots the guy, they get stuck in a room. He hits a window with one stool. It doesn't work. Two people hit it once. It breaks. He uses the stool to get rid of most of the broken glass around the edges. And then
Teresa throws over
they drape over a blanket to all climb out. It's like...
It's the weird...
But it all just happens so fast. It's like, yes, that's exactly what you would do when trying to jump through a window.
That you'd smashed open, yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I pretended to jump through a window, and then I slipped and fell through a window. And I was like, wow, I'm surprised I didn't kill myself. And then there was all this blood everywhere. And my brother was like, why are you covered in blood? And I had cut myself, and I have a scar.
He said, why is you covered in blood?
Yeah, he was 6.
Okay.
No, but I was older than him. In this memory, he said, why is you covered in blood? But anyway, my point is that goofing around and accidentally breaking a window, I nearly severed a major artery in my... Are there major arteries in your fingertips?
In your fingertips?
Yeah, you can
no.
see.
Are you nuts?
You can see the scar.
Not in your fingertips.
Anyway, I'm just saying it's right there.
That's cool.
Anyway, I'm just saying, like, I barely was like, I just went through a window by accident and I sliced my finger. I should have probably gotten stitches. And these guys, like, obviously you're scared, you're running, you're going to cut yourself on a window unless you take the necessary precautions. And they didn't belabor it like I am. I'm belaboring it, but the movie didn't.
That's what you do, Charles. That's
Right.
why we have you here. You're
The
always like,
movie
what
did.
if the podcast slowed down indeterminably for just, however long this anecdote takes. No, I think that's the point we're trying to make here is
Right.
that the direction is confident and forward. There's this propulsiveness to it. And okay, we were talking about how beautiful the first movie is.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, it looks a million times better. And they celebrate being out of the claustrophobic
Right.
enclosure of the Glade frequently.
But I
a
think
lot
that's
of big
why.
open spaces.
I think that's a really cool call because I looked it up. I was concerned. I was like, wait, is this a new cinematographer? It is. And they get a new one for the next one too. And I think that's really cool as a director to like see the first one as a confined space where the cinematography was very close, handheld, a lot of just like close-up shots. And now we're in the Scorch Trials, which is an open desert, and we get a lot of pulled back shots. It's really cool. I'm excited for the third one. See what we're going to look at then.
Yeah, okay, so just to walk us through it again, they escape this thing. There's a great sequence where they escape this facility.
So
they
good.
run out into the desert at night, and we enter the flashlight portion of the movie, which is sick. It's
So
so
good.
good. They run through this desert. They find an abandoned mall. They turn the lights on. Oh, no, zombies.
Oh,
Oh, no, sorry. First, they find attractive outerwear.
Yes.
This is
Please
so
don't
good.
skip over that part.
They just like
They
start
say-
pulling sick jackets out off of like corpses,
They
basically.
literally say, take whatever you can find and use. And it's not food or water.
It's light
fucking
jackets.
sick light jackets.
Okay, so then the movie starts to like crank up in a way that, again, I don't know about you, I was genuinely delighted and surprised by. They're trying to find the power source for this massive abandoned mall, and they go to that corpse that has a bag over its head, and they pull it off.
best.
His fucking eyes are out. He's covered in blood. This was like a scary movie.
Yeah, this movie was, top 10 zombie movies.
Yes,
Might even go higher.
so good.
Yeah, it was scary. I mean, it was tense. I'm not easily scared by movies because it's a fun movie, but like, it was tense, adrenaline pumping.
Gung, gung,
Good shit.
gung, gung.
Can I share with everyone? I already shared this with you, but what I was screaming while watching it, what I call the director now,
Okay.
I call him Wes Baller.
Fuck. That's so
Because he's a
good.
baller.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
I think like given that we're watching a series, the idea of them pivoting into essentially a genre play that like if I told you like on paper, oh, this series becomes a zombie series in the middle,
Right.
that would seem like how would you possibly make that work?
Yeah.
But again, this movie is really good at those little details that make it feel like it's a bit it gets higher above the grain of most of these kinds of movies. And yet also the information we get about this never overloads us. We know just enough about what's going on to get through the movie and not have to like, I think we were reading the critical reception of this, and I think some people, a friend of yours in Letterboxd was maligning the movie.
Yeah,
And he was calling it dumb in so many words.
right.
And in my mind, it's like,
He actually used the word dumb, I think, so just one word.
okay.
And he called it something else in other words.
Yeah, exactly. Well said.
Yeah,
Those
thank you.
words you chose, mwah, molto bene.
Oh, Italian. Your mom was talking about Italians earlier.
Yeah.
Where'd you use Italian glasses?
Yeah, we used to drink ice cold Tito's last night while
Yeah.
watching the Maze Runner.
And you're like, can I put these glasses in the dishwasher? She says, no, those are from Italy, Josh.
Yeah, and I said, Italiano.
Like a good boy.
Like a good boy. I don't want
Josh?
to ruin the intricate paintwork.
Do not put those in the dish. Those are from Italy.
Yeah.
Italians don't understand how life works, so they don't.
They're a filthy people.
They're a gross, awful people that make
Thank you.
glasses that can't survive hot water.
Well, okay. The thing about the Italians, though, they make a one thing I do like. And that's a pizza pie.
A pizza
A
pie.
pizza pie.
Ah.
Of
so
Scorch
good.
Trials.
They make vegan pizza pie now.
And that's our vegan plug of the episode.
Actually, you know what? Italians probably don't.
No, they probably think it's
Because Italians are
dog
fucking
food.
still thinking back in the dark ages
Yeah.
about everything, including a pizza pie.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what's his name? The guy that sail around the world and steal things from China. He
Marco Polo?
Yeah, he make a pizza pie.
A Marco Polo pizza pie, Scorch Trials.
Also, that was the ending credits for the Scorch Trials.
They played the spicy pizza pepperoni song over it. Scorch Trials pepperoni. Yeah, okay. So
I mean, Scorch Trials are hot.
they are very hot.
Much like a spicy pizza pie.
Exactly.
But I do think it's hot. It's both hots. It's spicy hot and
It's physically hot, yes.
unless at night. Night it gets cold, but that's when you put the pizza pie in the fridge.
No, a pizza pie always is hot to make.
Right, I'm saying
To make it's always hot.
But I'm saying you make the spicy pizza pie
You make a spicy pizza pie.
and the Scorch Trials. That's when they first emerge.
Oh yeah.
And it's hot out.
Right.
But then it quickly becomes nighttime,
Like a cold pizza.
and that's when you put it in the fridge.
Okay.
It's still spicy, but
Sure.
it's cold.
Your metaphors are trash.
No, but then the next day you put
Holy
it in the
shit.
microwave.
Okay, moving
Or
on.
you know what's best?
I'm gonna cut your
Shut
mic.
up. No, you know what's best? You get some other leftovers from the fridge, 2 slices of pizza pie, and you put them together on this. You put everything in between
Holy shit, Charles.
1 slice and 2 slice on top. Then you fry it on the top of the stove with a little olive oil. EVOO.
You're like a human griever.
There was some grievers.
Okay,
in this
yeah, okay.
one.
In our last episode, I was like, I really hope we get some grievers. Now, to be fair, they're dream grievers. Daydream the grievers. Okay.
There's a lot of singing this episode.
I think that's like it is again a perfect day outside. So
Yeah.
I think like my heart is still fluttering with the butterflies.
That's true. We saw butterflies. They were floated around us.
It was amazing.
And we were like, suck my dicks.
Miyazaki, you fucking hack.
You piece of shit.
This is real, bro.
Life real.
This is
Your
real.
movies are fucking animated and drawn.
Oh, make a little flip book. Yeah, no one gives a shit.
Yeah, not me. I care about real life butterflies flying on my head.
Yeah.
Just fucking landing on me.
Look.
Yeah, yellow and
We
black.
kept telling him we were watching the Scorch Trials today.
Yeah. Butterflies are watching Scorch.
And they honestly, they seem pretty down.
They were chill.
They're pretty cool about
They were
it.
chill.
No butterflies in the Scorch Trials, though. Nuh-uh.
Nah, there could have been, though.
Have we heard any animals in these movies?
That's a great point. They eat a rat.
Oh my god, that shit fucking slaps. Okay, so
That was amazing.
they make it to like what they think is like, oh, maybe these are some helpful guys out in the desert. No, they're criminal guys, and there's
Wait, this
Jorge.
was before the... Oh, no,
No,
sorry.
that's after. So we
I was
meet
thinking of
Jorge
the
and
other.
Brenda.
There's 2 groups out in the desert.
We'll get to the second group.
Yeah.
They meet
That's what I
Jorge
thought
and
you were
Brenda
talking about.
and the
Yeah.
general bad thuggy thieves
And the guy
guys
with the tooth gap.
who works for Wicked. It turns out, and so it turns out that their brief thing, it's a brief respite because they're hung by their feet. There's another escape. And again, the relentlessness. They do one escape, they get captured. They do one escape, they get captured. There's so much fucking escaping, and it always rules.
Yeah. And I think, anyway, the point was they go into the tunnels. We talked about this set piece earlier.
You're jumping way far ahead here.
I thought we were talking about the rat.
We're getting to that.
Okay.
I want to explain the context for this.
Sure.
So they basically meet Jorge and Brenda, who are sort of like the thieves
Really
with hearts
great.
of gold.
They did this thing where like they showed Jorge from behind for a long time. So I thought when he turned around it was going to be an actor I would recognize, but it wasn't, which actually was even better.
In my head, I pretended it was Lawrence Fishburne.
I thought it was Idris Elba.
Okay.
I didn't think it was.
So
but
basically,
like
we're
in my mind,
we're just racist.
No.
I
Idris
think
Elba is not.
We could tell he was an actor
Jorge.
of color, and I was like, it could be Lawrence Fishburne. I thought for a minute it was. I was
Really?
dead wrong.
His head was much thinner than a fish.
He's got a big head.
Fishy's
I
got
guess
a big
in
head.
the 2010s, you know, if Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh God.
He's got a big old noggin.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy was great. I want to look up who that was. He was fantastic as Jorge.
You can look it up. I'll continue.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a set piece, and then there's a rat.
You're fucking terrible at this. You're legit bad at this.
Come on, man. I'm just getting to this rat.
You're a monster.
What
okay,
did you want to say?
Okay, so
Should I
essentially,
look up who the guy was?
Littlefinger and company show up to fuck with them again, and they get separated. So now we have
That's good.
basically Brenda, short-haired Brenda, and Thomas, who do a great running on steel girder sequence as the entire building explodes behind them.
Yeah.
And they end up basically finding their way into the tunnel system underneath the structure, where we find the super mutant zombies, which are fucking the coolest thing in the movie.
They reminded me a lot of Last of Us zombies.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've played that video game.
I haven't.
It's very good. They're clickers. And they go and like sort of like what they did. I can't do that.
That was I don't know how well your impression is. I have not seen it.
Much more clicking.
More clicking. But okay,
anyway, so they
this
make a
sequence is
CGI rat.
incredible. Yeah.
And I was like, my initial thought was, why did they make a CGI rat just to pretend that it was a zombie? It looks pretty good, but it's still, they spent some time making a CGI rat. And then it gets et by a zombie, and it was all worth it.
The zombies look incredible. And these aren't like,
They really do.
They're called like full term or something. It's like a funny name. They
No,
refer
they're
to
called
them.
cranks.
No. But she says like they'll be full termed.
Oh, yeah.
So we've only seen sort of like the part of the way zombies or like the partial, more familiar zombies. These are like fucking like melted, mutated.
They look like they're growing out of the...
like ghouls or
Yeah.
something, you know, like Resident Evil 7 kind of.
Yeah,
Like,
just like they look like they are becoming a part of a tree.
it's sick.
Yeah,
And
good
then
design.
I think my favorite transition in the whole film was from the cold blue tunnels with the graffiti into this massive towering skyscraper that falls over, and there's like running through the wreckage of this massive skyscraper. There's a great like breaking window tension sequence that's really well
I
done.
thought you were going to say breaking wind sequence.
Okay, I'm happy you said breaking. That is Giancarlo Esposito,
Who's that?
motherfucking from for Breaking Bad. Gus, it's Gus.
Yeah, his hair's so long in this movie.
He's so good in this.
Yeah, he's great.
And what's
That's a
funny
great
is
actor.
that
He was good in Breaking Bad.
When
too.
this came out, that he definitely still would have been writing that Gus buzz.
Really?
Yeah, this is 5 years ago. I mean, this is still
No, this is 2 years ago.
no, not this movie.
2015, 2000. It went 2014, 2015, 2018.
Are you dumb? It's not 2018.
2 years ago. 3 years ago. Anyway, Breaking Bad ended in like
It came
2010.
out 4 years ago. You nut.
Wait, it came out in 2014?
Maze Runner: The Scorch Trials came out in 2015.
Yeah,
it is
that's-
now 2019.
Oh, yeah.
But basically 5 years ago.
Let's round it out.
That's why not. So
Yeah, but Breaking Bad ended in 2010, right?
no, it was later than that.
Yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit? This is boring.
But no, but I'm right. Like I think that reveal would.
That's how I end all conversations
This
when
is
you're right.
boring.
This is boring.
You're
Let's
dumb
move
shit.
on.
You're a piece of shit. You're such a galley.
Fuck you.
You should have died like Galley.
How did Galley die?
Didn't get shot. He got stung. He got stung and turned into Thing.
Yeah, he's gonna be back maybe.
I think he got shot. That'd be great. So let's we're going to get to that point in a little bit about how we're getting towards the finale. I'm actually really eager to talk about that.
So one thing that I thought was really nice, one of the criticisms I've seen a lot over and over again from my friend, in quotes now.
Your letterbox friend.
Yeah,
yes.
in quotes, because he doesn't like this movie.
Which is honestly demented because
Yeah.
this is another 2-hour movie where I was watching with rapt attention. And again, we've talked about this we'll save our really big claims here. How this is better than some movies, some other movies.
Let's just say it right now, better than Star Wars.
Better than most Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about franchises here. At this point, let's just get this out of the way. I'm nowhere near saying when will it end. I really am
No,
looking
but the
forward
problem is
to
we
the
know
third.
when it's going to end.
Which is heartbreaking.
I think they say there might make another one, which we can get into when it happens. But it's going to be a prequel. It's going to be add-in, so it's not going to be canon. Or maybe it is. I don't know what canon means.
Well, we're just not going to be seeing this storyline.
Right. This is the story, and there's a fourth and fifth book we found out a fucking sexual abuser named James Dashner,
So not only did he write a turgid novel that you hated,
but he also abused people.
so fucking think about that.
Yeah, fuck you, James. Now we end every screening with an applause round when it comes to Wes Ball's name, Wes Baller.
Baller.
And then it says based on the novels by James Dashner.
And we boo. He's a bad man.
Bad man. But he is a bad man. Bad man.
Bad man, yeah.
But anyway.
They should put him in a fucking maze.
Yes.
Put fucking the maze guy, the Me Too
In a
maze
maze.
guy, in a maze.
In a maze. Wait, they should put all Me Too guys in a maze.
Yeah.
Fuck prison.
Put him in a maze.
Just put them in a maze.
Yeah.
And then they can dream of escape.
right. They can learn what it feels like to be isolated and not believed and abandoned.
Yeah, and they can make their own little worlds
Yeah.
where they farm things.
Right.
We send up the box every month with a new
With a new Me Too
abuse. Yeah. Oh my god, this would be so.
This is a really good
This
idea.
is a good idea.
Yeah.
We could start off with a Weinstein, and he's just sitting there the whole.
I think we can just he is essentially a griever. He
Oh, you think he's been there so long that
he's just become a griever.
evolved into a griever?
Yeah.
I hate that word.
Griever?
You're right. It's James Dashner isn't fucking idiot.
It's a terrible name for something.
Yeah, because in the first, I'm sorry to bring up the first in the book, but in the book, they're this is how they get around it. He needed to have a way for Thomas to get his memory back, So he came up with this elaborate idea that the sting of the griever allows you to remember everything, but then it makes you so sad that you don't want to talk about it with your friends.
They do that in the first movie without talking about it with Albie.
Sort of. But
yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Right, but he's the only person who survived it.
Uh-huh.
And the serum has never existed. Here it says like the box always has serum in it. It's called griever serum.
That's stupid.
And basically what it works is the boys go through the changing.
Please stop describing the first book. We're not
I'm just saying, like, they go through the changing and then they remember everything, but they're too sad. So they don't want to talk about it.
Great.
That's why they're called grievers, because they make you so sad.
Okay, that both makes sense and is even worse.
Right, because I guess that's how boys deal with trauma.
Yeah, closing up inside, not communicating, and taking it out on women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, when Brenda and Thomas survive the skyscraper falling, they make their way to this guy named Marcus, and we've sort of this urban landscape in the desert. And the whole thing's that Jorge, the great Giancarlo Esposito, says, we're going to find Marcus, and Marcus will take us to the right arm, this like resistance group in the mountains.
Right.
And this is maybe one of my favorite parts in the series so far. We get to the city, and there's this sort of like a sort of sleazy hippie chick who's like, you here for the party? And they're like, no, we're looking for Marcus. And cut to Alan fucking Tudyk wearing eyeshadow and like a velvet jacket.
He's the pilot in Firefly, right?
Pilot in Firefly.
Yeah.
The robot in Rogue One.
Yep.
His list of accomplishments is incredible.
Is two, but both amazing. I'm sure.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, I was kidding you.
Don't talk shit on Alan Tudyk.
No, he's the best. He's
in the wonderful Amazon series The Tick, which was just canceled, and it's heartbreaking. It's so good.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
He plays a boat.
He plays a boat.
Who falls in love with someone.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and out of a cast of, stars in Firefly, the best one.
Oh, I think Alan Tudyk is like, he's that secret sauce. If you can get him in your movie, it's just instantly better.
He's incredible. He comes in and he's already fidgeting with his ring. Oh, and no. He's dialed up, he's dialed in.
He has this thing like you're watching, it's like you're going to see like a regional Shakespeare company production, and the guy who plays Falstaff has been doing it for like a million years.
Right.
And he just like is so dialed in, and he's doing business, but you're like, I'm fucking drinking this stew.
Yeah.
This fucking
Wait,
rules.
You drink stew? Oh my, wait, can we get a clear? What's it called?
So Alan Tudyk shows up. He's like, I'm not Marcus. Marcus is dead. Drink this now if you want a party.
And he's like, what is this? It's the price of admission.
And so they chug
what
like
a great line.
This Listerine looking shit. And so him and Brenda go into this party, and there's like a tripped out like bacchanal going on. We talked about how it was sort of like the Zion sequence in Matrix Reloaded, but not stupid.
Oh, that's another one. This is like 28 Days Later meets Matrix Reloaded meets Mad Max.
It's kind of crazy how the basic story of this is in some ways similar to The Matrix.
Yeah.
And yet, as much as some people seem to like unpacking the insanely obtuse, dense mythology of those movies, this is like, you know what? You get the basic idea, right? And it's like, yeah, shit. Sure, fine. Like the performances are there. I think the characters are well articulated to varying degrees.
I mean, I like the steak scene in The Matrix, but like watching a boy who has just seen his friend shoot himself and then sit around crying, say, you know what, I never think I'd say this, but I missed the Glade. And that's it.
It's amazing.
It's not like you get a whole sequence with Joe T, like eating steak.
Hold on, don't malign the steak
No, I'm
scene.
just saying, like, but like you compare it to The Matrix,
no.
it's like, yes, we get this.
The sequels. I'm talking about the Merovingian. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in Reloaded, where you're like, wait, what the fuck is going on?
I thought you were saying fans would like unpack The Matrix and spend so much countless hours being like, what's the philosophy of The Matrix?
Okay, my point, I guess what I'm saying is that some people like obtuse art because they feel like the process of understanding it is this like, your ability to do that is some sort of measure of you.
And I think that's why people like really spend time dissecting, like, whoa, what's the biblical meanings in The Matrix, and what's the like, what do you think Descartes would say about The Matrix? And yeah, exactly, it's like a way for them to jack off on you.
Well, no, look, if it actually works and you're actually like, credit to you. There's very silly, obtuse things I've labored over.
Yeah, okay, it's fine, but like, you don't have to feel good about yourself just for like.
Oh, well, okay, I'm maybe not being that aggressive about it. What I'm trying to say is that
I'm going to punch you.
Okay, I'm not doing it. With the Maze Runner movies, we have enough to go on, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Because, okay, we actually skipped over that part. There's two moments I want to just go back to for a minute. One is they run away. There's so much running in this fucking movie.
Oh, it's so good.
They run away from a lightning storm towards the beginning of the movie, and Minnow gets struck by lightning. And for a minute, I was like, if they fucking kill Minnow right now, I'm actually upset. Like, that's how invested I am now.
The many times, like you've said his name 3 times, you say it differently every time.
Minnow.
We just call him Minnow. Yeah, but I agree. Yeah, it's like, and the Chuck, which I don't think worked in the first one, like them talking about Chuck dying in this one was like beautiful.
Completely justifies Chuck as a character in the first movie, which was that's one element they don't really nail. I don't think Chuck. He's not a very good actor.
That's because that's like full Dashner.
Yeah.
To be honest, like that character was. He did not change at all.
Well, he's a device, a capital D device.
Yeah.
And again, this series largely, I mean, obviously there's a lot of devices, but I think the main characters, I don't think fall into that as much as other series we've seen. Mm-hmm. So that's a great moment where later in the movie when Brenda's like, yeah, my brother died. And he's like, my friend Chuck died. And they're sharing their trinkets that remind.
Yeah.
And we see Chuck's little stupid thing. But because in the movie in the beginning, when he's getting off the helicopter, he wakes up from the dream of going through the box again, and he fights his way back to grab his little carved toy from Chuck. Sure. It's a great moment to kick off the movie.
That's an incredible thing to rescue, is to take a character that's pretty dumb and like just there, sort of like the Ellen Page of Inception, sort of just like, here's the Glade, and I'll be the thing that you can like protect from the Glade, and like they just take his memory and this little trinket, and that means so much more than watching the boy do his thing.
Remember that scene in Inception where Ellen Page goes, Leo, what's the deal with all this Inception going on?
And he goes, I'm glad you asked. And then he
Sit
winks
down.
right at the camera.
And then he does a full PowerPoint for 15 minutes.
Hee hee.
No one likes rules more than Chris Nolan.
Yeah. And we like rules.
We like rules, but he really likes rules, but then also likes those rules to not really be...
I don't think he likes rules. He likes... For me, he likes explaining what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And he always, I feel like he needs to. And then when he got bigger budgets and Warner Brothers or whatever, was he a Warner Brothers guy?
I believe so, for the Batman movies for sure.
I'm pretty sure they had just like, no one's gonna get, like, Memento is not that hard to understand. And all I remember back in the 90s was people, or 2000 whatever, was like, I couldn't follow that one. I gotta see that one again. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I know when we get to Nolan, you get excited.
Yeah. But it's like, I feel like that element of him, he makes things that are complicated, especially temporally. And then now he has to explain it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the studio, maybe it's the producer.
Okay,
we were talking about producers.
We're making excuses
earlier.
about Nolan now.
I'm an apologist.
I know you are.
We've gone over this in the past.
Okay,
I'm a Nolan apologist.
So let's hop back on the train here. They go to they're at the crazy Marcus's sick ass drug orgy party, and Marcus keeps popping up at the party, being like, "Bah!" and like, you know, he's fucked up, and Thomas is like,
you were saying,
I'm so fucking high, and he runs into Brenda, and Brenda's like, she's fucking high too. She's like, they're not here, bro. We gotta stay in this fucking party forever, man. And they make out.
Yeah.
And she pulls away and looks like Teresa for a minute.
Wow. And then he goes, you're not her, and she gets sad and walks away.
Which is, by the way, if you ever
awesome.
kiss somebody, don't say that they're not somebody else.
Yeah.
They don't like that.
They don't even mention.
People don't like that.
You're not her. Like, she maybe doesn't even know who he's talking about. It's really sad for her.
Yeah.
I did like that you said you would love to go to a party where Alan Tudyk
keeps popping up and going,
just yeah. What a great, extravagant way to spend some time.
Anyways, okay, so they wake up from the party, and what do we get? The whole crew's back together. Teresa's back. Minnow's back. Okay, I had to look up his name. It's like Frying Pan or something. The black kid who gets no time in this movie.
He's the cook. So I'm going to talk about the book for just one last second.
Christ.
The reason why they all have names is because they're named after, like, smart people from the past, like Thomas Edison,
Edward
Newton, the playwright.
Yeah.
No, I think it was Albert Einstein.
Oh.
But like, and then how do they explain Fry Pan?
That's really his name. That's fucking sucks.
His name.
He says so little.
You know,
he seems like a good actor too.
You know, the famous genetic scientist Fry Pan.
You know, Fry Pan. Oh God. Anyway, so we also wake up to another favorite thing: someone getting tortured. And who's getting tortured? Motherfucking Marcus.
Yeah, who turns out to be Marcus.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, I'm kidding, I am Marcus.
Like, what a funny unnecessary, just like goofy thing he does.
Okay, we talked about like
I'm not Marcus.
Our favorite thing of like rule breaking, where he's like, "I'm not Marcus," and he's like, "Nah, I was Marcus."
Yeah, so quick.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it's great.
And then like so you know, there's a great Giancarlo Esposito and Alan Tudyk just doing their character acting at each other like a Dragon Ball fight. They're just doing all their shtick, and it's so sick.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I know where the red arm is, but they're real far away. It can take you forever to get there." And Giancarlo's like, "What about Bertha?" And he's like, "Please don't take Bertha, please."
Bertha.
Cut
And then
to
cut to
a sick ass truck.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
Which
dun,
they
dun,
drive
dun,
for
dun.
all of 6 seconds.
Yep.
And then stop.
They get to the next spot, and we're done with the car forever.
It's
Goodbye.
so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the way the pacing. We capital P, capital A, lowercase c, lowercase I, capital
Yeah.
N, capital G.
Go crazy, right?
Yeah, it's great pacing.
It gets us to the red arm. We meet up with
Right arm.
what did I say? The red arm.
Yeah, he said it twice now.
The red arm. I think this movie too. Okay, I wanted to defend
They're a
myself.
communist faction.
Frequently, it's hard to hear what people are saying.
Oh, that's true. But I think it's probably because you're shitty TV. I thought we were using your good speakers. So I was like, wow, this sounds like shit.
It doesn't sound that bad.
It's not bad, but it's muddy.
It's muddy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
What?
You say this. I bring you into my home.
I brought you a PlayStation 3.
I gave you hummus.
Is that the end?
You were trying to get rid of something in your house you weren't using.
Is this our arms race? I could have done anything with that PS3.
List them.
There's still games I play on the PS3, like
Skate 3.
Puzzle Fighter 3D Ultra HD.
I knew some lame shit you're gonna come up with.
No, it's fucking awesome game.
Puzzle Fighter?
Dude, it's so good.
The jigsaw puzzles battle each other?
It's the characters from what's that fighting game with Ren and Kyo and
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter. Yeah, it's Street Fighter characters playing a Tetris style versus game. Rules.
Why are they playing Tetris? That's so lame. I want them to
No.
fight.
What would you fight?
Because they're fighters.
Yes, they fight each other through blocks.
That's so dumb.
Dude, we'll play it. It's so fucking
Oh,
good.
God.
If you get really good at it, it's like
Wait, you're really setting me on fire with this one. I feel scorched.
yeah, that's good.
You're in the Scorch Trials now.
I like the double crosses. I like that we're actually in a movie where some people like they give you so many characters like Littlefinger. We're like, oh, obviously he's not telling you what he's doing, just so that when Teresa also turns out to be working for Wicked, you're like, what?
Well, okay, let's get to that in a minute. Long story short, they get into like the resistance, and they're like, everything's grand now. You know, we're gonna heal Brenda, who got scratched by the zombie, with Thomas's blood. We run into the nice doctor, who's Lily something, 6 feet under. She's great. Nate's wife. And they're
Is
like,
that how you think about women?
oh fuck me.
How they're
I need to examine my.
who they're
own-
married to, Mrs. Nate.
I have to examine my biases. You're right. It's
Yeah.
demeaning. It's
Yeah.
unfair.
Sounds Italian.
I'm acting like a real Italiano
Hey.
paisan right now. The women are objects. Scorch Trials. Okay, so
That's the second verse.
yeah, I think
Of
so.
the
Yeah,
Scorch Trials ending theme,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
written by Italia.
Italianos. No, yeah. So we're like, okay, they're gonna go to the nice place, and everyone's sitting around being like, boy, we sure have watched a lot of our friends die. And they're like, and Thomas is like, where's Teresa? And they're like, she's up there, standing alone in an ominous, portentous manner.
Yes.
So he climbs up the rocks, and she's like, yo, I've been thinking, T. People are dying out there. My mom's died. I want to help people, and I think I know how to help them. And Thomas is like, what? Cue Wicked. Littlefinger's back. Patricia Clarkson is back.
Those are
The
helicopter
thugs are
blades,
back.
by the way. Yeah. Ooh, that was well much better than mine.
Okay, so Wicked shows up. Everything gets all fucked up. We get a great gunfight. There's a great moment. It's like
There's good gunfight.
motherfucking the Wild Bunch for a minute, where Minho,
Just
Newt,
sticks
and the
him in.
gang are like firing. Like,
Oh my god.
like blood.
Shotguns.
So sick.
He's like, can you
No.
use this kid? No answer. Just
So sick. Just taking out Wicked guys.
Yeah.
And
there's Chekhov's 50 caliber machine gun.
well, basically everything goes to shit. And to make a very long story short, the movie ends with Patricia Clarkson in all white absconding with Minho and Teresa. And in the wreckage of the camp, Thomas is like, I'm not going to go to the paradise. I'm going to get my motherfucking friend, Minho.
Minnow.
And it's and I was hair on end, so stoked for 3.
Three's coming.
I cannot wait.
What did he say? I'm done running.
I mean, like,
Great
I'm
line.
tired of running, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's
I
like,
mean, of course, like, I
these are
felt
the
like
Maze
we were
Runners.
getting to that, but like, I'm like, you know what? Slam dunk.
So I just want to say,
Yeah.
for a movie with kids, for kids, this has Tom Cruise level sprinting scenes, like of action-packed insanity. That's a joy to watch. It has perhaps the best fast zombies, maybe better than 20. I know 28 Days Later invented it. So basically what this is doing is it's copying a lot of stuff, and it's doing it really well. And if we think of art as a series of copying the past, which I do, only one story, hashtag, period, only one story. Sorry. This is a movie that copies things incredibly well and makes it its own. And while I think the characters are, I mean, you have kids. They are still kids. And I would love to see, I'd love to see this as a kid.
Yeah.
Because, like, this is the shit. They say swear words. It's, like, a little bit gross and gravelly and, like, rough. But it's still about kids, like, getting their first kisses and like, going through life and, like, sort of liking. Like, they totally toned down the sex shit.
Well,
but, like,
we didn't.
it's still there.
There's almost no objectifying. There's no one, like, specifically no women are being, like, made to behave or act or dress a certain way. There's no shirtlessness, really. There's Albie maybe in the first movie.
Scene in this one where, like, she's putting on her, I didn't even get it. She was wearing a tank top, but she puts on an outer layer and, like,
and Fry Pan's like getting a look.
It's like, wait,
what? Can
she's
you blame
putting
me?
on a jacket.
Can you blame me? I'm horny as fuck. I've been trapped in a maze for years.
Well, I know my hand.
But the first kiss with Brenda was like that's the first sexual moment at all in the movies, and it's
Right.
not like gratuitous or ridiculous.
No,
but
it's really, I mean, it is
about,
gratuitous in some way. Not in, like, but, like, the whole background is, like, spinning and, like, the scene itself is gratuitous. But, like,
and
what
he's
it gets
conflicted
at.
inside about what he's doing. It's
Yeah.
a great moment. But okay, so one of the moments early on we didn't really talk about is Winston gets infected by the virus, and, like,
Yeah.
they're like, we gotta save Winston, we gotta save Winston, and Winston's like, guys, I'm dying.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a zombie. Let me kill myself. And they, like, so without a lot of dialogue, like, leave him with a gun alone.
Yeah.
And this is obviously, I think, the shot ringing out after people leave. That's a classic trope. But in this,
Right.
the
It's
direction
beautiful.
is fantastic. They're silhouettes walking along the top of a dune. They hear the gunshot and they just stop. And we just, instead of, like, a lesser movie would cut to inserts of them, like, reacting.
Right.
But we just see them stop and stand on top of these dunes as silhouettes.
That's it.
And it's beautiful.
It cuts.
And so I think it's cool. Again, you're talking, this is a movie that's directed at young people, and it's showing these tropes and these pastiches in a way that are both masterful and restrained and interesting. And I guess, like, if you're going to take your, like, these are, sure, I think on the most superficial possible level, these are schlocky teen dystopia adaptations from a very specific moment in American fiction. But this is really high level filmmaking.
Yeah. Some say it's from 2 years ago. Some say it's from 5 years ago.
Well, people who can do math and can read numbers know where it's from. So there's two sides, I guess.
Maybe
You know?
more.
Nope, just the two.
I mean, I'm the other camp where I don't really look at numbers. I'm not good at math. So I'm going to say maybe there's more sides.
Yeah, hey, it's
Not great at
your
math.
little world. We're not living in the Glen anymore. You can the
Glade.
Sorry,
Sorry,
What are they called?
Gladers.
We're Glenners.
Glenners.
We're Glenners.
Yeah. So anyway, I would like to talk a little bit about Star Wars.
Okay, marginally, we're getting
Just
towards the end
a
of the
little
episode. A little bit.
Can we do that now?
Go.
Because I really do think this is better than Star Wars. And that's why I was saying, like, I wish I'd seen this when I was a kid, because I had to watch Star Wars and Indiana Jones when I was a kid. And when you watch them again, they're, like, really half-assed, boring bullshit.
Indiana Jones has aged extremely poorly.
Very poorly.
And
Like,
I'm not talking politically. I'm saying the first movie kind of sucks.
it sucks. The only good one is
second
the
movie-
third one.
The Last Crusade is fucking great.
Yeah, it's good.
Because Sean Connery's like, you're a pussy, and I hate you.
Yeah.
You're my son, and I fucking hate you.
That's some good shit.
It's great.
Yeah.
They both fuck the same Nazi.
Yeah. It's so
That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
That's such a Jewish move. You have, like, nerds running train on a hot Nazi doctor.
yeah. Oh,
It's like,
God.
man, Spielberg, what a guy.
But I'm saying, like, what we had when we were kids was Spielberg, was, I don't know, who else was making this shit?
Well, I
Did
mean,
we
you're
just,
talking about Star Wars, so
oh
certainly.
yeah, Lucas, Cameron. Like, we were left with a fucking garbage pile of bad filmmakers. Ridley Scott, just like,
Oh, we were talking, this series, and look, I love the Alien series for a variety of reasons, for sheer consistency's sake and the sense of like, okay, actually I want to hit this point really quick before I forget.
Yeah, get it.
As a second movie, I'm not even saying this is better or worse than the first movie. It's a perfect continuation.
Absolutely. And I think that's
there are stylistic changes and they do new things, and yet it feels like the same breath. We were wondering if they shot it back to back because it feels like that. It has that sense of like continuity where I'm not like, was this better or worse than Maze? I'm like, no, this is chapter 2. And
right,
I'm just
it's like John Wick. It's like Raid. It's like all these movies which had plans. And
right.
I think we're in a series that has a plan.
Which feels so good because we've clearly the Star Trek shit just spirals off into nothingness. Shrek by sheer miracle somehow
Austin
manages
Powers.
Also so hit or miss. This is like real continuity and a real series, and I think for the first time we're actually enjoying a series. In
and I think that's
way.
why I'd like to compare it to Star Wars, which also had a plan, and it's not like when you compare it to children acting about being children to Star Wars adults, like these characters are much more interesting. Like I don't know, it's just like when we watch Lucas, like, and especially when you get to the prequels and these new ones, it's just like this feels like it's exciting. The set pieces are. I know that we're talking about 30 years. Can you please do some math?
No, just fucking end this.
No, I just want to say like. Yes, obviously we have CGI now. We can make like zombies look cool and like set pieces are going to be different now. But I want to watch kids run away from zombies with flashlights.
Yeah,
I don't want to watch dumb ships like fly around shittily on space. It's like,
okay, well,
I'm excited when I watch Maze Runner, which is weird that like no one cares about it. Why does no one care about it? I think they're awesome.
The best parts of Star Wars is the visual storytelling, and the worst parts are when it devolves into exposition, which is like really, I think one of the single worst scenes in movie history is on Endor in Return of the Jedi, where Luke and Leia talk, and then like he like takes 3 steps, and then like Han's there, and they like have this like one extended scene that like emotionally justifies their weird troikia of like, it's a horrible
scene. And then
scene.
everyone loves the final lightsaber battle between
it's
Vader and Luke.
It's not the best,
good.
It's nothing compared to the Darth Maul fight.
So much. It's like, can you shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Just fight. Like this is a visual story.
Right.
I want to see you hit each other with light sticks. Can you please shut the fuck up?
So these movies are comparatively deliberately unburdened by that kind of exposition for the most part.
Which is weird because there's a lot of exposition. There's a lot to explain to us.
Right.
Like to explain to us the maze, the trials, the genes, the Scorch.
But it doesn't feel like you're reading an encyclopedia,
right?
Which a lot of these series do. Where you're like, what the fuck is happening again? In this again, like I don't feel like I need to know everything, and it's great.
Yeah, and also, does shuck mean shit yourself?
I guess so.
Yes,
yeah.
But they don't even tell us
pants,
that.
Yeah.
We just heard Chuck say, "Shucked myself 3 times."
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, of course, you got a lot of shit in there.
He says
buddy.
it's his pants. He's a swim with shit. But there's also, I think it respects young people.
Yeah.
I think it shows like brave, emotionally intuitive, like connected, respectful. Like, I think like there's so many versions of this that are like, there's little idiots running around who are just shitty and annoying. And I like that Thomas is like resolute and strong, but also tortured. And like, I don't know. I think it's like a depiction of young people that is respectful.
Right. And we can now move beyond Star Wars because that was fun, but I'm done with it and I don't want to talk about it anymore. But It's cool that we have a main character who worked for Wicked, doesn't really know what they're doing, is sort of confused and doesn't like them because of what they put him through. But then there's Teresa, who they're basically, you think they're brother and sister.
I think that'd be a bold choice that I would be very on board
I'm into it. I think they're more friends/lovers but basically they work together on this maze thing. One of them is deciding for the greater good to go back to the Wicked, and one of them isn't. And like, we don't even know as audience members, is Wicked good? They say it over and over again, Wicked is good. Maybe they are good guys.
Yeah, I like the ambiguity.
So it's like, it's cool that this is actually a very complicated story about like what's good for humanity. Is killing a few dozen kids for the sake of curing everybody else good?
It might be.
It's medical ethics.
The world in this looks fucking horrific.
Right. So it's like actually much more complicated. Like, there's no good guys and bad guys. We think there are, but I'm sure in the third one, let's talk about the third one. I think we're going to learn that Littlefinger and whatever what's
Patricia
Clarkson. Is that the actor?
Yeah,
okay.
the actress. I don't know. The names in this kind of come and go sometimes, but who gives a shit? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, fry
She's
pan.
this visually distinctive, fascinating person who wears all white, has the perfect Patricia Clarkson, blonde hair
Like
thing.
they
so good.
they obviously care. Like they're talking. They don't know they're being eavesdropped on, and she's like, "Please don't hurt anyone." Like they don't want to be doing this, but this is something they feel like they have to do.
And I think like that kind of like of this era of like it's like a gritty real politique kind of thing. They're like, we're making a choice, we know it's fucked up, it's the only choice we can make, and so you're not left with like, oh, like the grim wall of fascism and the brave rebels. It's actually quite complicated. And so to the credit of the series, I have no idea what's going to come next, and yet I'm full of anticipation.
Yes.
So okay, let's try to one.
So we're not asking the question when will it end because we know it's going to end.
Right, which is maybe an interesting dynamic to this.
Yeah, we've never done this before. I mean, we have because we've known things are going to end, but we didn't know the filmmakers knew they were going to end.
Exactly. Like some of those series just peter out or come to a conclusion that we're like, okay, we're good.
Or we know now that Mike Myers is an infantile piece of shit.
I think everyone knew that, but the Love Guru is like that dark part of everyone's soul where he was like, look, guys, check it out. And I was like, no, don't show people that, man. Are you fucking nuts?
It's me.
Oh, God.
It me.
Okay, so here's my first question.
What do you think his it me would be? Like what picture?
A griever.
Mike Myers, it me is a griever?
It me, it's a griever.
Yeah.
So let's just get into it. Will there be grievers in 3?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I love my grieves.
I mean, there's been 1 and 2.
That's true.
We got Baby Greaves and a Dream Grieve.
Yeah, Daydream, but Griever.
What do you think kind of Grievers we're going to get?
Okay, so
I kind of...
They one up the Grievers so hard in this with the special mutant zombies. So as far as the creatures in this movie go, I would be delighted to get a new discovery of crazier creatures. But that being said, to not like overload what's going on in the movie, I'm happy to get more zombies and Grievers. That is enough.
The zombies rule.
Here's what I want. A horde of zombies fighting a horde of Grievers. That shit would fuck so hard.
And what, the people just sitting around?
I want to see a really, truly big set piece.
Big set. So sort of like the end of Wakanda. Weren't there 3 people fighting at the end of that, or were there just 2?
And then of Infinity War?
No, of Black Panther.
I fell asleep. I got
Oh.
kind of drunk and then I fell asleep.
Yeah. For some reason, I think there might have been 3 sides. Anyway, a 3-way fight's very fun. It's like when you play 3-way soccer in high school.
Soccer sucks.
Yeah, but you have 3 goals instead of 2, and you have 3 teams, and you sort of just like run at each other.
I've never played that.
It's very fun.
Okay.
And I think it's very much like a Griever zombie people fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Grievers
no
would
one
be
really
on
knows how to
Team
play
Wicked.
soccer.
Yeah.
Playing
I think
cricket?
Wicked.
Wicked.
Wicked would be humans and Grievers. Zombies would be zombies, and then the Resistance would be the
Right
Resistance.
arm / red arm.
Yeah.
Depending on.
They do seem like commies.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
Sure.
I'm a commie.
This movie does a lot of great stuff with casting where like I think about one of the sweatiest parts of Endgame is the like girls are great. Like,
Oh my god.
it's a bad moment in the movie. In this,
I think so too.
I think
And I ended up talking to Amy about it, and she liked it. And maybe there is something that's just like calling attention to what's lacking is sort of important. To me, it felt really belabored. Like to me, it was like we talked a lot about nerd men making movies and like how it comes across. To me, that was like, well, we're still nerd men, but we hear that women like to be included in things too. So maybe we should put them all on the screen.
No. I think that's too cartoonish.
You don't think so?
No, I think they're trying to be like have like a woke moment of solidarity where they're like these women are working together as a team, and that's a beautiful moment. I get it.
Right.
I would say in the sense of a massive, crazy, chaotic battle, it's just sort of like this is such
That's what
I
I mean.
thing.
It's like this is like what the nerd boys still think of as the solution. Like, oh, we want to make sure they're included in the movie, so we'll just like
give
go
them
out of our
their
way.
scene. It's
Yeah,
like-
their scene rather than just making them a part of the film.
Right, and what's worked so well in the Maze Runner movies is that while they like identify, they talk about like, we've been all boys trapped in this maze. She's the first woman. Like in this movie, people are just doing things, and there's not a lot of belabored attention put on that.
And they also tell us that there's mazes of co-ed mazes. There's mazes of all girls.
Yeah.
Like these maze, whatever, Wicked's like just trying everything to figure out how to cure this shit.
But I just think it's that kind of like representation, which I love to see, where people are just, it's not this, they don't need to belabor the representation. It's just there. And no one's questioning it.
Right.
And I like that.
And it's like full of racial diversity. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
and
you
there's
don't
no
even
dumb
think about
bullshit.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it's like, we need some art to directly confront those tensions and the fact that like that,
Absolutely.
But like in this, it's like, you know what? We can make a movie about young people in a dystopian, a post-apocalyptic nightmare where there just is that this is just a fact of life and no one's caught up in it.
It's great.
So the young people can go like, oh, I don't have to be fucking fixated on this as this like, it's nice.
Yeah, it's really great. And I like the way that like it seemed, they just, there's no political motivation or role behind casting. It's just like they got a bunch of kids of all sorts of different backgrounds and genders and whatnot to just go fight in the Scorch Trials.
Now, that being said, I do think if there are spin-offs from this, I do want to deeply explore the socio-political, realities of this world. I'm certain there's still racism and sexism. I'm sure those people still struggle harder, even in the Scorch Trials, even though...
Do you think so?
Well, actually, no, there's a
Do you wonder if perhaps erasing their entire memories and just throwing them into a glade?
Maybe we should all go to the
reborn.
glade. Yeah.
Perhaps they're reborn.
Well, no, Mary Shelley wrote the book called The Last Man.
The Frankenstein?
Same person. She wrote a great book called The Last Man. And it's all about how, like, when this horrible crisis strikes the world, all of these old traditional boundaries fall away because, like, the necessity of the now, as opposed to, like, preserving both, like, an imperial, like, this, this very empire-based vision of the future or this very, like, conservative vision of the past. Like, the demand of the now means that those boundaries are erased gradually.
That's basically, like, Watchmen does that. Heroes does that, where like a huge catastrophe will bring people together and make them forget about the petty shit.
We need another world war. We need a fucking
you.
flare. We need a scorch that flares people.
I think for learning from the end of the book, the scorch was when solar flares burned the earth, which created the flare, which is the disease, which creates cranks, which are basically zombies.
Wow.
James, can we once more boo a dash boo?
Okay, so we're getting towards the end of the episode here. This is the climax of this series. I'm really excited. Do you think the good guys win? Are we going to see a restored globe?
So here's what I think.
Okay.
I think, as I was saying earlier, we learned that there are no good guys and bad guys. War is a creation, and Thomas has to learn to coexist with both Wicked and the Right Arm.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so because this is a closed arc, story.
I think they find a cure, but I think
who's going to die?
Right.
That's what I'm really interested in. Wow. I'm thinking Thomas is going to make it through. I would be genuinely surprised if they kill Thomas.
I think Thomas is going to make it.
Maybe Teresa dies?
I think Teresa's going to die.
Okay.
But that's probably just because Dashner's a fuck and like that's his way of making so many people killed themselves for no reason in the book. Like Chuck's dying, like it made so much more sense in the movie. He just like basically happens to get in front of it. Like in the book, it's like
Sinbad in First Kid.
Yeah, it's like a slow motion bodyguard jumping in front of a bullet in the book. And
that's
like
fucking dumb.
Yeah, he seems to think that people killing themselves for other people is like emotional. So
it literally is emotional, but as a device,
but as a device, it's
tired.
like very So Teresa probably dies because that's Dashner's attempt at making emotion happen.
Well, also Brenda is going to die or turn into a zombie at some point.
No, she needs the fix.
Are they going to fix her forever?
Yeah, didn't you catch that?
No, she said she's good for a couple months.
Right, and then she needs more.
Right, but we're not certain that there's...
Right. But my thing is they're going to find the cure. Brenda will be fine. Teresa will die. And things aren't going to be great, but they'll go on.
Here's my prediction. Everyone dies with Fry Pan, and Fry Pan is left alone in this massive wasteland. It's like, well, better get to cooking.
What's he cooking?
I don't know. Probably a spicy pizza pie. Okay, well, join us next week for the climactic conclusion of the Maze Runner trilogy. We are riding high right now.
We're Maze Head. Scorched. Do you think what are we going? Cure
Maze
heads?
Head. We've been we got trapped in that maze. Then we got scorched. What's the third one called?
Come on, you fuck.
No, tell me seriously.
Come on, it's called the Death Cure.
It's called the Death Cure?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're not joking?
Would I lie to you?
Yes, you would.
Yeah, you're right, but not about this. Not about the podcast.
The Death Cure.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're gonna hold on. Sit tight for a week. We'll come back. We'll figure out what we're called. But until then, we're still called When Will It End?